official movies things, right? They like clap so that you have time to sync up the words and the sound with the clap. That's what that happens, right? Yeah. So, this is, I believe, if we go live, we had some difficulty last month where all the things that are connected didn't all go the right places. We think we have it right this month. We'll see. We're going to give it 5-10 seconds here so that our production staff, our amazing Emily in the background, can confirm that we are, in fact, live on at least 1 or 2 platforms where we intend to be streaming this. Oh, we got 2 thumbs up, so we should be all good then. Welcome. This is the TechIDManager live public demo for April 3rd, 2025. We are going to talk about TechIDManager, how it does privileged account management for MSPs, what that looks like, some overview of the product. The intention is that you are curious about TechIDManager, you maybe seen something we did, and now you want to know more. You want to see really like a good high-level overview, what the product does, how it does it, so that you can make an informed decision on whether TechIDManager is for you and your MSP or not. So along those lines, we thank you for being here. I will tell you a little bit about myself, why this product even exists, why the company exists, and then we'll actually bring up the product. We'll talk about some use cases for it, and then we'll actually get in and show you the product, technically what it looks like live, show some use of it, and then if there are any questions, you can always put them in the little doobly-doos down below, and we'll answer them. All right, I'm Martin White, computer engineer. I worked at MSP for about 12 years. I was head of development for the development wing. We did all kinds of software. The problem that I saw most that was unaddressed was technician access to client infrastructure, Azure tenants, domains, individual computers. Our MSP, there was one admin username that everybody shared. One password, everybody knew it. You just logged in with that admin. That left us in a case where we didn't have accountability, we didn't have traceability. We used a documentation tool for storing passwords. Some passwords are in the RMM, some are in a documentation tool, some were in an Excel spreadsheet, some you just kind of guessed and knew because of patterns that they were made by. All terrible. I started reading cybersecurity guidelines in 2017, 2018, and it came to my attention that really every technician should have their own account when they access a client's network. And that was the starting point, the jumping off point for really a journey into access management, privileged account management, identity access management, all those acronyms that I took that culminated in a company called Ruffian Software and a product called TechIDManager. TechIDManager manages the identity of technicians for MSPs across all their client infrastructures. We do it on a very secure base of asymmetric encryption and zero knowledge storage, zero visibility storage. We do it with zero trust. We do all those zeros and all those marketing terms. We do end-to-end encryption. We do encryption at rest, encryption in transit, all those end-to-end, all those marketing encryption terms. We actually understand what they mean technically, and we've implemented them and wrapped all of that into a product specifically to do privileged account management, password and credential management for MSPs in a secure and highly technical manner, specifically for those concerned about cybersecurity frameworks and compliance, and those that just want to make it easy. Though we have all this compliance, it is super easy for technicians to find and use their credentials and accounts that are specific to them and their access to a client network. That's the high-level view. Let's look at some of the places where TechIDManager can be applied and some of the deployment examples that we have listed on our website. Everything that we are talking about today, you can find on our website at ruffiansoftware.com or techidmanager.com. So what we have here is, let's look at, this one. This is one of the more complicated ones. We have here a company layout where we have domains, we have multiple domain controllers, we have AD sync to Entra ID, we have some laptops over here, and we have some individual machines that people need access to here. What you really need when you have all of your MSP technicians over here, you need them to all have their own account, but not everybody in all cases has full access everywhere. Sometimes you have local accounts that people should have local administrator accounts that people should have access to. Sometimes you've disabled those and you only want individualized access. Sometimes you want just-in-time access. And not everybody gets every access everywhere. So that's what we have here. We have these technicians, this blue technician, the orange technician, the green technician, the yellow technician. And then we have accounts some shared accounts that that most of them access to, but a lot of them have individualized, unique access to the domain. This blue technician has his own account on the domain controller. He also has his, if I could get out of the way here, his own account on this machine. But nobody else, and the yellow technician does, but nobody else does. Just those two need access to this subset of the infrastructure. The Azure AD, they all have access to. And that level of access, the way those accounts are made and who makes them, we automate. That's what TechIDManager, we automate the creation of unique accounts for everyone everywhere, automate the management of passwords and rotation of credentials, automate the setting of rights so you can truly do least privilege in mass across all of your clients with the least amount of effort. With very simple grouping policies. Say this technician has this role, he gets these rights at these places. This other technician, different role, different rights, different places, or even maybe the same set of places. There could be overlap. There's a lot of power in that. And there are a lot of different ways. You can do a much simpler deployment where you have just going to 𝗕𝗏ID. You have all 4 technicians at the MSP. They all 4 should get accounts in 𝗕𝗏ID. We do that. We do 𝗕𝗏ID account management, both just in time, managed with all the rights setting that you need, all the access controls. There are lots of different ways that we do it. Those different ways show up in our tool called the Tech Client. Each technician has their copy of this Tech Client. In it are all the credentials that are specific to them where they have access. There are a bunch of different types of credentials, like we talked about, showed in the deployment picture, a bunch of different places they can have access and types of access they can have. We can see here that there are A's for Azure accounts, there are D's for domain accounts, there are L's for local accounts. There are these individualized heads that mean this is a unique account to this person. My account as a technician at ruffiansoftware.onmicrosoft.com, it's mine, nobody else has access to it. I'm the only person able to see that account. Only person able to use that account because I'm the only person given that password. And the MFA on that account is separate and comes to my phone separately. This local account here on this W11 test machine, this administrator account, I can see here this multi-head icon. This is a local account that is shared between technicians. We do think that you should stop sharing admin accounts, but we realize there are valid reasons, licensing reasons, business reasons, technological reasons, why you're sometimes forced to share an admin account. Service accounts are a good example. So we help manage all of that. Take over that service account, take over that local administrator account if it's still there for some reason, if you still need it. And we can rotate the password share with particular people. And we can layer on top of all those different types of accounts at different locations, different styles of accounts, the shared accounts and unique accounts. We can layer on top of that just-in-time access. Like my domain account that's unique to me is also a just-in-time account at Tacoma.net here. That means that a manager sometime in the past said I was allowed to have some sort of rights on that machine. As a technician, I want to use those rights. I come in here and I click enable on the tech client. It means that that account is going to be enabled. In the next 60 seconds, that account will be created if it didn't exist, enabled, rights provisioned to it that are specific to me at that location, and then a password generated that's full random, encrypted, and sent back so that just I can see it. That account is then mine. It has my name on it. It's unique to me. It's also just in time. It only exists and is only enabled for the times I need it. That account will stay enabled for some duration of time. So if I log in and out and I'm doing some complex work, need to access this machine, that machine, whatever, my account is still there. I don't have to redo anything to get a new account on a new machine. My domain account is viable for 2 hours or whatever time frame you set. And if I need to extend it because, I've come near the end of 2 hours and it's not quite it, I'm not done yet. I can just click extend and then the account is extended and it's viable for longer. After the whatever time frame and whatever extensions I add on into that account will be disabled. All the rights will be removed from that account. A password is set on that account that is never told to anyone. So that account is as dead as can be, but very important for traceability and accountability reasons, that unprovisioned password that nobody knows, account with no rights is left there. It is very specifically left there so that the next time I as a technician need access to that same environment, that same account is re-enabled, Whatever rights I should have at that point are reprovisioned to that account. A brand new password is set on that account, encrypted and sent back so that just I can see it. And then I can use that account. That means that every time I access that network throughout, or that machine, throughout the course of history, there's a continuity of logging, a continuity of access that is traceable directly back to me as an individual, no matter who looks at it. If you as the MSP look at that machine, if the client has an auditor come in and looks at that machine, if some internal IT looks at that machine, it's obvious. I did it because it was my account. And you get that continuity of history over time, which is very important for accountability and traceability and security compliance. So we have all these accounts, we have all this easy management, we have these accounts made automatically for each technician. How easy are they to use? That is really an important question. Let's bring up a remote connection tool here. This is ConnectWise Control or Screen Connect, depending on how long you've been in the MSP space. I get to the point where I, as a technician, need to get logged into this machine. This works with every remote connection tool. I have to have Screen Connect here, but it works with all of them. I can see this is the 𝗫 domain. I, as a technician, need to find my credentials to get in the 𝗫 domain. I bring up the tech client. I click this search button. Tech client went out on my computer, looked at all the windows I had open, made an intelligent guess about which ones are remote connection tools, which ones of those tools, which account I would probably need to connect to whatever I have open. It said, oh, you probably, looks like you have this 2019 DC machine open, which is on the 𝗫 domain. You probably need your 𝗫 domain account, which is what it narrowed it down to. Martin_Black.mit-admin@jeep.org. Clearly my account. This is the account that I want to use to log in. So I could copy this username or copy this password, but you do not have to use the copy paste. If you directly want to inject it without putting anything in the copy paste buffer, you can click the send both button. Tell it what window to inject your credentials, and then my username and my password, which changed sometime in the last 24 hours, because passwords change every 24 hours automatically in TechIDManager, gets me logged in. So now I'm logged in with an account that is mine, rights that are specifically set and managed to be just the rights that I should have, possibly just in time, and with a password that I know is going to change in the next 24 hours. Very powerful way to give technicians access to client networks. If a manager believes I should no longer have access, I just change what I have access to and my account goes away. It goes away from my tech client. The actual account is disabled, all that kind of stuff. So you can see there, I went from a login window with a username and password needed to get logged in to actually logged in with 3 button clicks. I didn't need to know my password. I didn't have to open and search through any documentation tools, search through a password vault. It just popped to the front, was fast and efficient and secure as a technician accessing a client network. We can also do that very same thing for Entra ID or Azure. Portal.azure.com. I need my account to log in there. Let's look at my Azure accounts I have in here. Let's use this Ruffian software one. I believe that one's still valid. These are testing accounts. We'll see. So I can just copy my username. I could even send my username there without actually putting the copy paste buffer. No matter where I'm injecting, I can inject. I need my password. Let's inject my password there. That's my password. The MFA is specific to me. I need to find my phone, get my MFA. This MFA can also be stored directly. Oh, I have the wrong. Oh, time changed. Whatever. Oh, I must have the wrong. I have the wrong OTP. Oh yeah, that is the wrong account. This one. Gotta love this. 52440. That's the point of MFA. Oh, I actually have the wrong MFA. This is my test account. It's broken. You can store OTP in there. That's real embarrassing. That's okay. So like you get in, logged in. I can use this one. Let's use this one. Gotta love when you're doing stuff live, don't you? This one I think I have I have the OTP stored with the account in this case. Inject my username. Inject my password. Inject my OTP. And I'm logged in. And I have an account that is in this tenant, which is very important. I don't know if I've used this account before. I sure have. Yeah, here we are. So like, I have an account that is specific to this tenant. That means that I'm not limited by any limitations of GDAP. I can do this account just in time. I can do this account however you as a manager sets up for your MSP to do, you can do. And you get access to all the things that a direct account with whatever permissions you have in that tenant will grant you. Very straightforward, very simple. Mixing and matching of all the accounts, all the rights, all the privileged access that you need, privileged account management for technicians right here. You can also organize those if you specifically want to know the ones that are for Jeep. Had I been trying to log into the Jeep 10 machine, would have found this. Very positive and powerful organization. Because we are dealing with a bunch of usernames and passwords, we also have password vaults built into the product. We have a personal password vault for each technician. These are the things that I want to store my passwords for. We also have a shared vault where you can create a vault. A vault is a cryptographically, what's up here so you can see it, a cryptographically secure entity that has its own asymmetric encryption keys, its own zero visibility, zero knowledge storage, its own encrypted end-to-end encryption. And you can determine in the vault, you can put a bunch of different credentials. And then you can choose at the vault level which MSP technicians have access to and can read and see, which ones don't have access and can't read nor see, which ones have access to see that the vault exists, but not see the credentials in it, which is very important for an MSP use case, because you might get to the point where a technician is doing something, they look up a password in the vault here and say, oh, this password, I know that somebody has the password for this, but I'm not allowed to see it. At this point, I can go to a manager, I can look at the details for this. I can say this is an Emily's vault. And I have to go, well, I have to go to a manager and say, hey, there's a password here that looks like it's going to do what I need it to do, but it's in Emily's vault. Can you either give me access to Emily's vault or have somebody do this job who has access and thus is the one that's designated to access these things? It's a real subconscious and powerful mechanism to help distribute work appropriately when you give people access, but yet they can see that the information is there, but they don't have access to it. This came from some very specific requests of our partners who use TechIDManager. You can put all kinds of things in here, usernames, passwords, OTP, descriptions, notes, all that. Very similar organization where if you want to see just the credentials that are shared in between Jeep, we have this firewall password in there. All of these credentials, the managed credentials are rotated every 24 hours. The vault credentials, you can write agents. We have a REST API where you can write agents that will rotate those automatically. The same thing with the user passwords are just stored for the user. All of these credentials, if you do come to the point where somebody says, hey, what's in Emily's password vault? I really want this technician who's not allowed to see it, or you have some need to send a password. We don't think you should do this. But there are, even though we're on our white ivory tower and say, hey, don't share credentials, don't send everybody a password, we know that there are times where it is required and sometimes needed. So we have built in a bunch of little subtle features to help make that as secure as possible. So if I need to send somebody this firewall password, I can do a one-time share of this credential. I will get this box that shows up. When someone goes to access this credential, it's going to ask what their name is going to be. I will put in there that Emily is going to access that, and I will share that with her one time. Emily needs to go to this URL, which is already in my clipboard buffer. When they go to that URL, they'll be asked what their name is, and if they get that right, then they'll be shown the credential one time. So if we go here and we go to that URL, yep. Credential has been shared with you. To access credential, you have to know your name. We know it's Emily. We'll submit that. Here's the username and the password one time. And the description of that, if there was OTP, it would be shown here also. And then also note that this URL only works once. If somebody tries to go back there to that same thing and they enter the correct information, already been shown or is expired, these are only good for 3 hours. If you need to do a one-time share of a credential with someone, either an outside vendor that needs access to a printer, or someone needs access to a firewall, or even one of your credentials for whatever reason you need to be, we can do that. We do it very securely with end-to-end encryption, all that kind of stuff. There are lots of those kinds of things built in to the product. There's documentation tie-in, so if you're used to going to 𝗦𝗫𝗍 or Hoodoo to get your credentials, you can put a link directly in that documentation, and when somebody clicks on that link, they will take that technician to their version of that password directly inside the tech client. There's tie-in for a lot of other things that MSPs need to do also. This is just a brief overview. If you'd like, we'd love to have you come see a one-on-one demo, answer questions, see use cases, all that kind of stuff. Check us out at TechIDManager.com. There's all kinds of buttons and calls to actions to schedule a demo. All kinds of information there. Speaking of TechIDManager.com, we have everything user-facing. We are very transparent in everything we do. We have our installation instructions. If you'd like to schedule a white glove install, that is on our website. If you'd like to see our how-to articles that talks about all the things, like here's the article on the one-time password sharing, random passwords versus passphrases, because we have both. Force password rotation, so that if you are in the tech client and you think that, well, I sent somebody a password, let's force the rotation of that password. You can force that password rotation. It will rotate that password sometime in the next 60 seconds. That password's going to be rotated in the next 60 seconds. Whatever it was before is now invalid. This happens at several levels: the technician level, the agent level, the whole entire company level. We have a lot there. Our management console is where managers go to manage who has what access where. There are reports and triplets and logs and groupings to do role-based access. We have logs of everything that happened in the system, including the one-time shares. We can see that I shared it, Emily viewed it, or somebody who put it in Emily viewed it. We did a password rotation request for this agent. Everything we did during this demo, it's all there. Full logs of everything. We keep the log information forever, which is a big distinguisher. Server space is cheap. We keep logs forever. Our prices are on our website. We are as transparent as can be. If you have any questions, check us out at TechIDManager.com or email sales@TechIDManager.com, and we'll love to talk to you. So go schedule a demo, one-on-one, and have a great day. All right?